Top 10 Mysteries in History That Were Left Unsolved. Number 10. Francis Leavy's Handprint. This spooky mystery began during April the 18th, 1924, with a firefighter named Francis Leavy, who worked for the Chicago Firefighting Department. Francis was off-duty cleaning the window pane of the firehouse, when his colleague felt as though he was acting strange, not like himself. Then he disclosed that he felt that he was going to die. Then later that day at 7 p.m., there was a rapid sudden fire that broke out on a 4-story building. Later the fire department of Chicago was called. All of the firefighters were on duty, including Francis Leavy. The firefighters found it difficult to rescue all the civilians as the roof had collapsed, shutting down the building's power station, which caused the building to be dark, with vision being a struggle. The struggles of the fire caused 20 injured firefighters and 9 firefighters dead, including Francis Leavy. The next day, a firefighter noticed that there was a mysterious stain of a handprint on a window pane, the same window pane that Francis Leavy was cleaning before his death. The firefighter tried to remove the handprint stain, but it did not come off. The firefighters tried all types of cleaning materials to remove it, but nothing worked. Perhaps it was the ghostly remainings of Francis Leavy's that wanted him to be remembered. Number 9. Bigfoot. When we were kids, we all were told the story of Jack and the Beanstalk and how the big giant tried to come down to land. But was the story really just a fable? Well, not according to the mystery of Bigfoot. 60 years ago in Northwest California, a journalist had come across a large 16-inch abnormal-sized footprint dented on the ground that reflected human footprints. This then caught the headlines of the California newspaper, which mystified the public of California, as no one could identify where and how that footprint got there. Some say it was a man-like giant and others say it was a large ape. I'll let you decide on that one. Number 8. The Grave of Cleopatra. Since the death of Cleopatra and her beloved lover, Mark Antony, their graves were never found till date. But what really happened to Cleopatra's grave? Before the death of both lovers, many believe they took their lives in their own hands and committed suicide. Because Cleopatra was being forced to marry at the time Roman Emperor Octavian Augustus after their defeat in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, which left both the lovers oppressed with no choice but to commit suicide, as they believed they could be together in the afterlife. Till this date we have no findings or evidence to the location of Cleopatra and Mark Antony's grave. Number 7. The Loch Ness Monster, also referred to as Nessie. This ancient tale has been told since the early 565 AD. The local couple had first spotted the unusual creature lurking in the waters of St. Columba, Scotland. Hardly to be seen again, but over the years residents had claimed there to be strange events, and according to other history artifacts, that during the 565 AD, the Loch Ness Monster had been killing people traveling over the lake, and the St. Columba ruler at the time had commanded the creature in the name of God to go back with all speed. From then the Loch Ness Monster retreated and was never seen since. Number 6. The Stonehenge. For over 5,000 years, these exact standing stones have been in place for centuries, puzzling scientists, as no one is able to tell who and how it got there. The large Stonehenge monument is located in Wiltshire, England, measuring 30 feet high and weighing 25 tons. Many say the monument are the last remaining of a Roman temple. Others take the monument to be the works of Merlin, the great wizard during the Arthurian legends, assuming that he transported the stones from Ireland. Number 5. The Taos Hum. There has been reported sounds of hymns and humming sounds from the town of Taos, New Mexico. The strange sounds were described by the locals as faint diesel sounds from a distance. The locals say the sounds have caused them side effects such as pressure in the ears and headaches and migraines. Scientists still do not have any explanation for the eerie sounds. Number 4. The Mary Celeste. On the 7th of November 1872, the boat Mary Celeste, fully prepared, had set sail from New York traveling to Geneva, Italy. On board was the ship's captain and his family of 2, including their 2-year-old daughter. Soon after, less than a month later, the ship was spotted out at sea by another British boat called the Gracia. The ship was found empty with the captain's entire family missing. However, the unusual aspect that came to light was all the family members' belongings were still on the ship, with 6 months' worth of food supplies on board. But the mysterious thing was the ship's lifeboat was missing, and the boat was left undamaged. Till this date, no one knows what happened to family out sea and how they disappeared. Number 3. The People of Pompeii. Pompeii was an ancient city located in Italy, Rome. During the 79 AD, Pompeii had suddenly faced a death unlike ever seen before. The people of Pompeii had died of something that was far worse than a nuclear bomb. It had occurred from the rapid eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which consisted of volcanic ash and other lethal substances that had covered the entire city and rapidly resulted in the city's destruction. As the people of Pompeii were carrying out their daily lives, though within a few seconds people and animals were dead on the ground. Number 2. The Zodiac Killer. During the 1960s in Northern California, there was an unidentified serial killer known to be the Zodiac Killer. The killer had not only killed several victims, but had sent taunting, threatening letters to the police and newspaper press. Inside the letter, the Zodiac Killer included 4 cytograms, with one as now solved. Despite the investigations from the police enforcement, they could not find the identity of the killer, which resulted in no arrests, with Zodiac Killer was left roaming the roads of California. The title Zodiac Killer was identified from the 4 letters that he sent, as the killer had sealed the letters with a symbol of circle, with a cross between it signifying a Zodiac Killer's symbol. That's left us with number 1 of history's top most unsolved mystery, being Richard III and the Princes in the Tower. During 1470s, the tragic missing case of the 2 princes has concerned the public of Britain for centuries. Prince Edward and Prince Richard III were the 2 only brothers and sons of Edward IV, King of England. After the death of King Edward, the prince's uncle Richard, Duke of Gloucester, became their guardian until Princess Edward's coronation. Straight after Prince Edward was crowned, Edward V and he and his brother had disappeared. After the prince's disappearance, there was no recorded search for the princes. Soon after, their uncle Richard, Duke of Gloucester, took over and became king. Many say that princes were locked away in the chambers of Tower of London. Others say they were murdered, and I'll let you decide what really happened. Comment down below your top favorite mystery, and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more astonishing videos.